what we normally do is a quick check-in and introduction, and especially as we've got two new faces today, that'd be great just to get to know you and you to get to know us in terms of so who you are, where you are, if you're happy doing that, and a channel, if you run a channel or a page or something, just let us know. It's be interesting to hear what you're up to, what you're doing. So I'm David Moffat. I'm in Melbourne in Australia, run Swedenborg Community Victoria. We've got a number of pages and channels and things on various platforms. Been doing it for a couple of years. Things are going pretty well. You'll get to see the sort of stuff I'm doing with analytics today, so I won't say much more than that. But yeah, that's me. David, I'll go to you because you were next in.
Okay, my name's David Higgins, and I'm on the central coast of California in the United States, in kind of a small town, 50,000, but it's pretty, there's no larger metropolitan area nearby. We're halfway between Los Angeles and San Francisco. I've made my first YouTube video, I guess probably back in 2017, in response to an Off the Left Eye video that I took issue with. And then I have two current channels. I've actually gotten wiped off of YouTube once, and I've been, I think, pretty much shadow banned, you know, because they don't like what I say sometimes. But yeah, I'm kind of like skeptical about my ability to succeed with YouTube. But you know, it's kind of a situation where I've got kind of nothing better to do, and I'm pretty passionate about Swedenborg, so I just hang in there and keep plugging them as I feel it.
Fabulous, David. Thanks very much. Bojan, pass on to you, mate.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm currently in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So that's where like Steve David is in. I regularly do talk to him. Yeah. Currently, I work at this company here. Whether it's fortunate or unfortunate.
Okay.
So Google software engineer. Yeah, I don't touch anything on YouTube related, so I won't be able to answer any of your questions. Yeah. So basically, yeah, for me, it's just like I regularly talk to Steve David on some of the ideas for like how like the different Swedenborg stuff, and how do you really think about visualizing it in like different ways and stuff. So yeah, yeah, it's just I remember that there was such a hangout. I just didn't find the time to attend it previously, or it was always at odd times due to, I think, the time zone. So
yeah, okay. Well, welcome. It's good to have you here, and good to have some inside knowledge too. That's nice.
I don't think I know too much about internals. I only know mostly about my own team. So
yeah, no, that's cool. That's great. Lisa.
Okay, I'm Lisa Cuffs. My friends also know me as Liz from when I was a kid. We had too many Lisas in class, so we had to get a bunch of nicknames. But mine stuck for a long time. Anyway, I work for Reverend Rosalind Taylor, who is an ordained convention minister and the founder of Deborah's Tree, which is for uplifting Swedenborgian women and Swedenborgian women's voices and all things girl power. So, we're doing that, and I update the website for her, and I run the cameras at our home church brunch events, which is Reverend Ross Taylor's other ministry, which is Church at Home, and that's been going on. Both of these have been going on for a while now. I realize Deborah's Tree is in our 5th year, and home church is much older. Maybe not much older, very old. No, just kidding. Anyway, home church does these brunch events, and they're live, and I run the Zoom, and I also put up a lot of cameras so they can be recorded, because they have a live audience, and no scripts or anything like that. They can often be a little freewheeling, so we also have to edit them. So right this summer, I'm trying to get set up some more editors, because we have a backlog because everything is fun, but not everything can go on YouTube because of terms of service. So we got to make sure, and it's just important to have a watchable product. So
Okay.
editing. I've learned so much from David because he's taught us about Descript and AI. So I love to attend these things.
Oh, that's great. That's good to hear. I'll show you a bit more of stuff I've been exploring in a little while. Look, what I really wanted to do first off, though, before we get into that, is talk about the worldwide contact page. So for David and Bojan, this is a concept that's come up through the network in the last year or so. That it's almost 2 years now we've been set up. One of the things that I realize is that we all have our audience in various parts of the world. If I look at my audience, so I'm running in Melbourne in Australia. My audience is not in Melbourne in Australia. It's in the US, it's in the UK, it's all over the place. I've got, mainland Europe, Africa, India, all sorts of places, but it's not here. I wonder whether that's partly YouTube's business model. But anyway, what I do have is a lot of people dispersed all over the globe. And one of the things I realize is a lot of people are not close to a new church group. So how do you get together with people who are like-minded? And that's the idea with the contacts page. If we had a platform that we all, as creators, point our audience to, maybe we can get our audience to start connecting. Maybe we might also be able to get to the point where we can start up new groups in new locations where there currently are no new church groups. That's the big plan. So we came up with the worldwide contacts page. Someone Steve David knew, dubbed it Cloud to Coffee, which is quite a nice title. And Steve David was in Australia a couple of weeks back. I met with him in the centre of Melbourne. We had a lovely chat. And he got real fired up about doing the worldwide contacts page. And so they've started building this thing. And I saw it on Wednesday. And I just wanted to show you some of the stuff that is there now because it's really quite exciting. So
are you gonna steal their thunder?
Well, I've told Steve I'm doing this. I emailed him at the beginning of the week, said, we've got a hangout. What can I tell people? So this is all, no one else has seen this, but, it's coming. And I think it's really, really exciting. So on New Christian Bible Study, you'll be familiar with, or you will have seen perhaps the world map of new Christian groups. Have people seen this page?
No.
Okay. So look, you find it buried under the more here. Go down here. I'll find new Christian groups. Okay, that's where it currently resides. But this one, however, is a little bit different. So what I've got here is Australia. Now, normally you'll see these little red pins mark each of the societies or the groups, but you'll notice that there's this one. This is a new symbol we haven't seen before, and that is me. All right. Now, what I've been able to do is it allows you to put your address in the in the settings, and it will pinpoint you on the map. You can do it in a variety of ways. So what I've actually done, if I go in and close, I've actually chosen a street which is near me, but not actually my street. I'm up here in this area, but I've put Tennyson Street instead. You can do that if you want to, if you're concerned about privacy. You can also just put in your suburb, and it won't cover the whole suburb, but it'll drop the pin in a random place somewhere near the suburb. Okay. So that's what we can now do and you can click on it, you can show it's me, and eventually we want to be able to connect with those people as well. I go out and much bigger, you'll notice there's a couple of these in the US as well. So if I go to this one, you'll find that one of these is, this is Steve David. Okay. So basically our aim is to populate the map with individuals. So when you get to somewhere like, let's go to the US, because you can see where the groups and churches are. You know, you go to some of these other states like Texas. Well, I've got an audience member that spoke to me in Texas, right? But as far as I can see, there's no new church group there. So to be able to have the individuals around and to be able to connect, that's really the aim of the map. I'll show you some other cool stuff they've come up with, because there is lots of cool stuff. Let me just grab my notes. Let's grab that one.
Comfortable here.
Sorry, folks, I'm just getting myself sorted out. So this is the chat settings. Oh, you'll note up here there is a chat box now as well. So I've got an online friend. Steve David is online at the moment, so I can pull that up. Oh, I can click on there. Here, and there's all the chats. Oh, there's Steve David's chat with me, direct message, and there's various chats here that you can't see that. There's various chats in that box at the top here that that I can access. But this is really interesting. So the preferred language will translate on the fly. So when you're chatting with someone, Facebook does it these days as well. When you're chatting with somebody, you can specify English. And Steve showed me. He set his to French, and basically everything that I typed was was written in French. But then also, when I go to where has it gone? Sorry, I'm still finding my way around this. So. Oh, here we go. So you can see, yeah, all right, you can see my chats. I go to my direct messaging with Steve David. Notice up here, there's a little call button. So he's got like a Zoom meeting set up within the New Christian Bible Study website now. And that will also do captions, and it will also translate on the fly. So you could have a multilingual Zoom meeting, imagine that, with translated captions as you're going, just by setting the English.
Yeah, Google Meet can also do that, I think.
We'll do it as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I hadn't been aware of at all.
Yeah, you can also turn on captions, and then after that, you can select the language as well.
You select your language too. Yeah. So, but this is now embedded within New Christian Bible Study. So Steve was kind of trying to promote that as a means of, if we're having international doctrinal classes or Bible study, we can do it within New Christian Bible Study. So those are some of the things that they've been working on over the northern summer, and it's on its way. I don't know when the rollout is going to be. They're taking their time at the moment because they realize the system could pretty quickly get overwhelmed with a lot of people. So they're just, as I say, they're taking their time and developing it, and they'll let us know as it develops. What he was very keen to say was that, you know, they're very keen for feedback. So once we get into the system, and indeed, if you've got any ideas now and you want to let me know, I can pass them on to Steve and they'll action them. But they seem to be, you know, really super keen to get this developed and get it moving. So is there any thoughts or questions?
I was just trying to see whether Steve they will actually want to come online or not.
Yeah. Okay.
I
He's
just
been here
messaged.
before. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder how the data is protected. Like, I hope they have layers and layers of firewall and stuff, because when you start collecting what's basically social media data on people, hackers start to think, hey, that would be fun to get and sell.
Yeah. I do know that, I don't know whether you've been on New Christian Bible Study recently, but when you first log on, they do a Cloudflare thing and they're checking whether you're a human. They've had to field quite a lot of bots in the last 6 months, and that's taken a lot of their time and effort from what I understand. So they are at least, being confronted with this as an issue already, and are working to, make it as secure as possible. How far he's got, how far he needs to go, I really don't know. But they are at least aware of the issue and working on something.
Okay.
All right. Any other thoughts, anyone?
Sounds great. Looking forward
Other
to
than
it.
that, yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. Once we've got it active, here's Jack. Hi, Jack.
Hi, David. Sorry, I'm a bit late.
Yeah, that's all right. Jack's from the UK, if you hadn't spotted that. Couple of new faces here. Dave Higgins, you haven't seen before, and Bojan is up near working with Steve David. I've just talked about the worldwide contacts page and developments there.
Right.
So what I'll get you to do is maybe look back at the recording when I put it up on our Facebook page, so you can see. But it's exciting developments to see what's going on there. It's really good.
Brilliant. Yeah.
All right, I want to kind of move on to the main thrust of this morning. I just wanted to mention, I don't know whether you are aware, had you guys seen Curtis Child's address to the General Assembly a couple of years ago, where he talked about 100 off the left eyes?
I think I did see that, yes.
You saw that, David? Did you see it? Bojan, did you see that?
I may have seen it. I don't recall, though, but it sounds a little familiar.
It was one of the moments that got the network, the Swedenborg social media network, going, because he was talking to the General Assembly about setting up 100 off the left eyes, getting a lot of YouTube channels up there, putting out Swedenborg content to a variety of different audiences. I was in the UK at the time saying kind of the same thing to the General Conference about networking and that sort of stuff. So this is where we got the social media network going, to try and do that kind of thing. They started up their affiliate program, the Off the Left Eye affiliate program, about a year ago. I was involved. Howard Thompson, who's in Roseville, was also involved, and they were keen to get Corey, is it Bradford Watts, is that right? The Spiritual Sunshine channel involved too. And we had a couple of meetings over the end of last year, and then the line went dead. So after Christmas 2025, really nothing has happened. And I gather that Swedenborg Foundation has kind of pivoted off in another direction. I'm quite disappointed about that, but it does mean that, as a network, we're still here, we're set up, but we really are, I think, reliant on ourselves in terms of how we develop our own channels. So I've been looking at AI, because AI is the big tool that the affiliate program gave me, and how I can use that and leverage that, to sort of do what I do better. Okay. Now, it's already had a huge impact on my work. So I'm doing things like I use Google Gemini as an AI scripting partner. I call her Ellen the Exvangelical. So I use that. I use the New Christian Bible Study chatbot quite extensively. I use a platform called Descript, which Lisa mentioned, for editing. and various things and producing B-roll. I use Canva for producing imagery. And I've started now using YouTube Ask Studio for the analytics, which I'll have a look at in particular today. And I also use a service called vidIQ, which is a subscription service. Again, I'll show you that today. And I've just this week started using Notebook LM to produce videos, which is quite interesting. I'll show you. Is anybody aware of YouTube Ask Studio?
I've had a wee look at it just briefly.
Yeah, okay. So I'll just show you my account. I'm just going to do different screen share. So this is Swedenborg Community Victoria YouTube Studio. All the usual stuff. If you, David, I know you're on YouTube, so you'll be familiar with the studio content and such. Okay. And then up here is a relatively new button that's popped in, which is Ask Studio. So Jack, you're aware of it. David, have you been aware of this?
Oh, haven't noticed.
No, okay. It sort of snuck in there and nobody said anything, and there it is suddenly. It's the symbol for Gemini. So basically, I think Google Gemini has been put into YouTube Studio to kind of integrate with it. Basically, you click on that and you come up with, you know, an AI chat page. And plus, you know, it's got all of these suggestions. So, and what it will do is it uses the data from your YouTube channel. Okay, so it's focused on that really alone. So as an example, summarize comments, and it will think about it. I did this last night. We've got a chat group, and so what it does, it summarized the latest little video, which is just a short viewer takeaways, comments, and then you can, you know, you can start a conversation. Tell me about earlier videos, and it'll go look at go look at the comments on the other videos as well. So so you know, you can use that to explore your channel. If I do, how is my channel doing? See what it comes up there. That's just a standard little AI tool, but as I say, it's embedded within YouTube Studio itself. There you go. Channel stats over the last 28 days. What's working well? Growth surge. Subscriber momentum, consistency, and an area for focus. And this is useful stuff. Conversion and retention. While views are up 91%, watch time has only grown by 21%. Typical when shorts are driving the growth. The challenge now is to bridge that gap and encourage new viewers to explore your deeper long-form services and discussions. Returning viewers, your returning viewer count is slightly down. While it's great to have new people coming in, finding ways to re-engage your core community is key to long-term stability. Actionable recommendations. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to read that, but what I'm going to do is copy it. So if I grab this.
I think there should be a copy button below, right?
Oh, yeah, there is too. Yeah, good. Yeah. Thanks. Good to have a Google engineer here. So if I copy that, what I've then done is I've gone to my scripting partner. Right, this is Alan, the ex-evangelical. Say hi, Alan.
Hi, Alan.
Now, sorry, I'm just trying to get into my menu here because what I want to do is I'll open the sidebar. Thank you. I'm still learning my way around. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Alan and I'm going to drop that into a new chat. Here's YouTube Studios. What do you think? And drop it in and see what she thinks about it. And I found this has been really useful to use the AI summary from YouTube Studio, give it to my my scripting partner, and we see if we can start doing some of the things that are recommended. How can we implement some of those recommendations? Because to be quite honest, I look at those recommendations and I think, well, what on earth am I going to do with that? I really don't know. But using AI to understand AI is kind of a useful tool, a useful thing to do. So what's she come up with? She's still working.
It's just
Caught
like
me out
Gemini,
during. What's
Gemini
that?
on Sickleton. I say Gemini on Sickleton C mode again. Just like look at some of the comments and I'm like,
Yeah. So, all right. So there's her things that she's recommending that we will do. Now, I don't know how whether you guys are familiar with Gemini. Bojan, I guess you're fairly familiar, are you?
yeah, I mean, yeah, like at work, we are sort of like kind of compelled to use AI all the time. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's much more like we have like docs, coding, like other things, and we have our own internal tools as well. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. So one of the things that we've got in the background of my, you set up your AI with a particular set of characteristics and with a particular vision. And so Ellen has got a variety of documents in her kind of in the background, sitting, informing what she does and what she says. So I've then used something like that to redefine those documents and refine the way that we work. So every so often I'll come across a new piece of information or think, okay, we've got to pivot and go in a different direction. So I'll ask whether we need to update any background documents. So I'll do that. And she'll come up with recommendations as to what I then drop into her back end. I won't do it today because it takes a bit of time, but I'll at least show you what I'm doing. Any questions while we're waiting or comments?
I don't know. I mean, this is more. Oh, sorry. This is more for me. Is like, have you tried like diagramming some of the things out there? You can ask Gemini to actually create certain diagrams.
Diagrams.
Yeah,
I have
like,
not. I have not tried.
yeah, I mean, there are different ways of doing it. I told Steve about it as well. You can ask Gemini to produce a diagram of like probably give what is like your user flow like. Can you draw a diagram on it, or you can ask it to generate like the code based version of it, which is like Mermaid or Graphist as well. So yeah, you can probably just like ask it to like there's a potential viewer to active viewer, right? Like you probably can ask it to draw a diagram visualizing it.
Yeah, okay. So draw. Oh, is Ross here?
Visualizing like your user like flow and stuff.
Okay, visualizing the user flow.
Yeah, for example.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Just out of interest, because I've not done this, so this is me learning too, which is great. mapped it out.
Did it produce an image at the end, or?
Let's have a look. Here we go.
Oh,
User flow converting. Okay. So yeah, I will have to sit and take some time to digest all of that. But it's interesting what you can do using AI with AI to sort of unpack and how you approach the task.
David, can I ask?
Jack,
Do you produce shorts in Descript?
I do. Yes.
It would be interesting to see how YouTube analyzes those shorts or critiques them.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do that.
Have you tried that before?
Yeah. So let's go. I'm going to go back to my YouTube. One thing before I get there, Jack, I'll just show you one other thing. So if I go to a particular video, and the analytics of a particular video, this is my last service, or it's the address from my last service that I recorded. Okay, so that just get used to that. Now, because there's in my another channel, there's something else that's embedded in this page, which for some reason I don't have on my main channel, and I don't know why. But if I go to my other channel, and I go to content, right? So I had a video that dropped. This is the latest video. It just dropped a couple of hours ago. And if I go to the analytics on that, YouTube Studio, now notice this, what's going on down here, summarizing video performance. Every time I go into these video analytics of a particular video, Studio in this channel only is coming up with this summary. So, and it usually does it 3 points, 2 goods and 1 needs improvement. So it says high engagement indicates strong resonance, while overall views are currently below typical levels. The exceptionally high average view duration suggests the viewer you are reaching are deeply engaged and finding the content highly valuable. Now, the thing I want you to notice about that, the average view duration, 72% of the video, currently I can't see that, right? But Ask Studio can, and I find that really interesting. So it can tell me stuff that it's not actually showing me on the page yet. Specific audience topic fit is working, a 9% CTR above your channel's typical range, combined with high retention, and that confirms your title and concept regarding non-toxic spiritual tools, perfectly calibrated. And then this is the could improve, lower reach suggests discovery hurdles. Despite the strong resonance, the low impression and view total indicate the video hasn't yet found a broad audience, suggesting a need to experiment with more searchable, high intent keywords related to religious trauma or gentle parenting. So what I've done then is copied that. I've gone back to Alan, and I'm going to find the particular chat that I developed that video for. If I can find it quickly, it'd be really good. A long time ago, lots of water under the bridge. Now I'm going to search. Teaching spirituality without trauma. This is my chat that I developed the video for. Right, so Studio says, and let's see what it comes up with.
Are you sharing the right screen? Or?
Sorry, thank you. Quite right, I'm not. Okay. Right, and so she's come up with recommendations. So first thing is she says here's a pin this comment from your account. Yeah, I don't have any comments yet. So what I'll do after we've had our meeting is I'll go through this and I'll see what recommendations I can then go and drop back into YouTube. So what I'd do is probably I'd go to the details. I'm anticipating getting a list of keywords to update, and go and drop some keywords down in this section here if there's ways that I can improve that to see if I can get more reach on that video. So a couple of things to take away really is the fact that YouTube does this. As I say, not on all channels, but you could go to Ask Studio and specify the video and say, tell me about the performance of this video and what improvements I can make. And you'll probably get something like this come up again. Okay. So I just think it's a really useful tool if you're looking to increase the reach of your videos. I think it does have an impact. Yeah, mate, you got a question? Or
can you
comment?
try to ask it to generate like a table or like something in the chat? I think you might be able to do that as well. Like ask it.
Okay, so we're going back to Gemini.
No, I mean I tried to not Gemini. I think you can just try to see Ask Studio because the backing thing should be Gemini anyway. You can probably ask it to do like generate like a table of like your top 5 videos and like what your like average duration and stuff. I'm just trying to see what it actually has.
Yeah. Showing average duration. Anything else?
Yeah, just something like that and see what it has.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be able to pull certain data from it, like these.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Now bear in mind some of those three are shorts, I think. Yeah, and those 2 are long form.
Yeah, so it might be useful to. Yeah, I'm not sure how much does it work for like, copy and pasting and stuff, and whether it can work on Excel as well. But basically, it might be like super useful to like listings in tables and stuff. Like you might be able to get pretty nice summarized like pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. So look, I'm still exploring this and the flexibility and the things that it can do. I've found this really useful. Just in terms of, that video's dropped 6.5 hours ago, coming in fairly early and trying to diagnose it and look at ways that you can improve your reach over those first few days is really quite helpful. I will show you. There was one that I did. I think let's see what this one looked like. No. Oh, again, you could see it was busy spinning the wheel and starting to think about looking at it. So, you can go into any of the videos and say, right, this was a lower retention one, for example, and it'll start to tell you, what can you do about, lower view count. What can you do about that? Optimizing discovery through packaging. So there's always this third one is always this is something you can improve. The other thing that I'll share with you is Notebook LM. Is everybody familiar with Notebook LM?
No.
No.
I have heard of the name. I know some people in Google does use it, but
Yeah.
I think it's probably like a dashboard that you can code stuff pretty quickly, kind of like thing like that.
Yeah. So it's another Google product. All right, I've got so many tabs open. It's not funny here. I've got to just create myself a new one. Yeah, Notebook LM.
You're not presenting. I think that.
No, it's all right. I'm just setting something up rather than showing you what I'm having to do.
Sure.
Here we go. There we go. So now Notebook LM, what it does is when you create a new notebook, you drop in the source documents for it to work with, and basically it bases everything on your documents and nothing else. Okay, it will do some web searching as well, but one of the theories that I've heard about Notebook LM is it's supposed to stop hallucinations or reduce the number of hallucinations. What I've done, I'm going to go out of that one, is I've actually taken my notes from my videos, dropped the notes in here, and then told Notebook LM to go and produce a video on the topic. All right. So I'm not going to do it because it takes 20 odd minutes or so to do. But in 20 minutes, it can produce quite a decent little video. So again, I'm going to go back here. What I've done, one of the experiments I've just started running is I've just started a new account. And these are the videos that I've produced on Notebook LM based on my notes from a video that I've already created, just to see what it can do, see whether it can do better than me. So in Notebook LM, I've said, right, here's my notes from the video, and it often stretches to 30 pages. Take those notes and create a video and see what happens. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Jack.
Yeah, just one of the things I've tried in AI, and it seems to work, is you know how it's important the prompt that you give it.
Yeah.
And the information that's in the prompt. Well,
Yeah.
what I've did before is asked the AI what is the best prompt in order to achieve what I'm looking for. And then it gives you the prompt and you cut and paste the prompt back in.
Yeah.
And then it produces things. I think it produces things better that way.
Yeah,
it's its own prompt.
That's right. That's right. And so one of the things I've very often done, especially with my thumbnails, is I will ask my Gemini scripting partner to come up with a prompt to drop into Canva to produce a thumbnail image. So now that's not true of these. It's certainly true of, if I go back to, pitch account. If I go back to what am I trying to do now? I'm going back to Studio. A lot of the images that I use on my main channel, I've done that with. So this is one. This is one. I didn't mean to click on that. Yeah, a lot of these images have been produced that way. So I've got a Gemini to write the prompt for Canva. Canva's produced the image because I just like what Canva does, actually, less so than Gemini. Lisa.
Yeah, I have to wait a minute, time out. That LM thing actually makes you 4-minute videos.
Yeah.
Like 4 minutes. Wow.
Yep.
No, the reason I'm saying that is because I have Adobe and it will make you pieces of video that are about 8 seconds long. And you can customize them fairly intensively, but are those 4-minute ones any good? Because I'm interested to know.
Well, I'm interested to know too, to be quite honest. So I've only just released one this week.
Okay.
And
No, I don't
basics,
mean is it any good as in are people watching it? I mean, is it any good as in when you watch it, are you like, this is good, or are you like, oh, this is slop? I'm guessing if you put one up, you actually think it might be good.
well, it's not bad. So I mean, look, let me show you, okay? I'll show you a snippet of this one. So the only thing this one has received, as I say, my notes that I've made for a video that I've already produced. Okay. And here we go.
If you grew up in the evangelical world, you were likely handed a specific theological premise from a very young age. The idea that God is a perfect being of infinite, unconditional love. But that premise carries a heavy contradiction. You were also taught that your deeply compassionate agnostic neighbor, or a devout Buddhist living a life of peace, is destined for eternal torment. Under this traditional framework, their condemnation has nothing to do with their character. They are punished for lacking the correct doctrinal vocabulary, or for failing to recite a specific transactional prayer before they died.
I'm going to stop there because I don't want to run. But that's what I'm getting.
That's still pretty good, and you got that from putting in notes from AI from your other one.
Yeah.
That you did.
So what I do when I develop a video is I basically record the entire chat in a document. That document becomes my working document in terms of, me editing the script and all that kind of stuff. I've then taken that full document, which gets pretty long. I've dropped it in the Notebook LM, and then Notebook LM. Sorry, I'm just going to go back to this tab and then just share this one again. Over here in the studio, this button here is the video overview.
Okay.
So if I go to that one in particular, be down the bottom here because it was one of the first ones, I think.
Did you tell it to make watercolors for your illustrations?
No. There is a certain amount of here it is. There's a certain amount of you've got a certain amount of wiggle room, and you can play with it to a certain extent. So this is the one that I clicked on, the cinematic. You can go for an explainer, or it can create a short. What should the video focus on? You can suggest things. You can customize it in certain ways here. So there's a certain amount of instruction that you can give it, and then it will take it away. I really just left it free. I said, look, you'll find a script embedded in this document. I don't want you to use my script, although it's pretty much done what I've done, just in its own words. And I've said, I want you to make it better than I did.
Okay.
So I've given it sort of fairly. I've given it free reign, really, to do a lot of stuff. And came up with that 4.5 minute video. And they're all in different styles,
And
I have a question.
Okay.
Could you include, upload some of your own video footage and say, use this video footage, but also add some B-roll, or can you say use my voice, or is it always a random computer voice?
So I imagine you could upload some video footage. I haven't tried it. That would be something to have a go at. I think it's probably always a random computer voice. Bojan.
Yeah, I think you can probably also ask it to explain how it did it as well. At least I see so far it's kind of simple, as in it's just taking whatever you have and making an image every a few seconds out of the theme of what you actually said. So you can probably ask it to explain how do you generate a video as well. Then you can probably use that to figure out how do you tweak the way that it generates videos as well.
Yeah. So yeah, look, it's a really interesting tool in terms of creating a video. And as I mentioned, what I'm going to be doing is stop. I've just set up myself with this channel, and all this channel is those videos from Notebook LM just put out there just to see how it performs.
Now, how much did that cost? Was it quite expensive?
No. So
Wow.
we've got at church, we've got a subscription to Google Workspace.
Okay.
And this comes with that. Even if I look at my personal, this is my personal Google account, which I don't have a particular subscription to. So again, it's allowing me to upload stuff. It's got the video overview button. I do note that it's limited, so it's not going to let me press it. But it will only give me, I think, 3 of those a day.
Oh, okay.
But it will let me produce 3 4-minute videos a day. I'm not going to need to do that.
That's a lot. That's worth really looking into. I like the things that I have subscribed to, but I also realize that, like, on tight budgets, there's a credits versus like output kind of equation, and whoever's got the best will let you do the most stuff. So that's important.
Yeah, that's right. Roz, you're muted, Roz.
Yeah, perhaps it hasn't been running long enough because you posted it on the 1st of July, but have you been able to compare how the Notebook LM version has performed compared to the live David Moffat version?
Well, yeah, I would say the data's not in yet for a couple of reasons. Yes, that video was only posted on the 1st of July, but it's also the first video on the channel.
Oh, yeah.
And if I look at my first video on my most recent channel, our 3rd place, it went nowhere. It went nowhere until I had a video about 2 months later that got 4,000 views, and then people came back and watched the earlier content. So I'm not expecting anything really to happen. I've got 8 videos up here at the moment, and I'll keep just putting them up because I have to do nothing to do it. It's so easy. I drop the notes into Notebook LM, I tell it to produce the video, and then I go away and do something, and it comes back with a video, which then, I just drop in. And then the other thing, what I have been using, if I go here and I'll show you this one, I've been using vidIQ to suggest titles and descriptions. So in this case, this is a vidIQ suggestion. They reckon it's a 95%, but it also comes up with this. Now, this is a subscription service. They also produce the description. I've let vidIQ do that. And vidIQ will also produce a thumbnail. Now, I'm not able to use the thumbnail on this account because I've got to do my my telephone number verification stuff, which I'm not bothering with. But so that's an AI generated thumbnail. Again, that's the paid service. In the case of this channel, I'm just going with the auto-generated one. I don't know whether you've done this. You do an auto-generated thumbnail, and YouTube pulls out 3 different screenshots, basically, from your video, and I've gone with that one for this particular video. And look, it's an experiment just to see where it goes. for a couple of reasons. I really am interested to see how this stuff performs, but also YouTube is talking about, wanting human-driven content, and I want to know whether it picks this up as AI and therefore it won't promote it, or whether it will. I don't know. It's just a big experiment. All right, I'm going to stop because I've got to switch off fairly soon because I've got to let my wife come into her office and use it for work. Anybody, any last-minute questions or comments?
No.
No?
I just hope you will keep us updated on how it goes, because that looks really, really interesting and cool.
Yeah, I will. I'll be fascinated to see whether I get any traction at all on that channel. Yeah. And just another
also,
way of approaching things.
I make my own thumbnails, but I am I have made a lot of digital art over time, so it doesn't take me that long, but it probably takes me longer than like 1 second. So I don't know. I sort of hesitate to go to the AI ones because I know I have developed a pet peeve about like a video that has a cool picture on it, and then you click on it, and then it's just like not a cool looking video inside. I don't know why, like that makes me annoyed, but maybe it doesn't make other people annoyed, and maybe people give it a lot of attention. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine.
I'm willing to be honest. I find AI videos offensive generally. I recently discovered an audiobook reading of Divine Providence. And, for a real human to sit down and read Divine Providence out loud, cover to cover, is quite an ordeal. And so I can't imagine anybody actually doing that. So I'm happy that somebody had a robot do it and I'm listening to it. But that's kind of an exception for me. But generally, if I see a video that's AI, I'm like, I am not watching that because just in general, I don't know why.
Yeah.
But
yeah. But I have to say, AI videos are getting traction. I mean, that's what I noticed.
Yeah. But
people are watching them. So I do. Again, I prefer the authentic content of sitting listening to an actual human talk. But AI is very definitely getting that traction. So I'll just be interested to see what happens with those, where they go. Yeah. All right, guys, I've got to sign off. Let my wife get in here. Thanks for coming along. Been good to see some new faces, and we'll look forward to another chance to have a chat on. If you've got any topics or things you want to explore, or something you could present indeed for a hangout, please let us know.
Okay.
It's getting dark here and I'm disappearing.
Yeah, where do I share certain ideas, or like certain ideas and stuff? Like for example, using AI image to generate correspondences as well, and spiritual diagrams. It's actually a lot easier now with all those things. So you can probably explain Swedenborg concepts like the grand man and stuff a lot easier. So I was just wondering where to share those ideas. Do I share it on the Facebook page or?
Yeah, chuck them up on the Facebook page, mate. That'd be great.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, cool. All right. Got to go. Thanks very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the day.
See you later.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.